Hi guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Booking with Mommy and
Nigel!
Nigel. On today's episode, what are we reading, Nigel?
Our skin.
Ooh, our skin. It says a first conversation about race. I am so excited to read this book. I'm even more excited that it kind of matches the color of my dress. Did you do that on purpose?
No.
No.
Notice that.
Okay, awesome. Well, without further ado, we're gonna hop into our reading of our skin. But make sure you stay tuned because after, Nigel and I want to start highlighting one indie author at the end of every single episode so that we get that indie book love out there. So let's do it.
These are like questions.
Ooh, thought boxes. All right, let's do it.
All right, this is gonna be good.
Our skin.
A first conversation about race.
By Megan Madison, Jessica Raleigh, and Isabel Roxas.
3 people.
Oh yeah, 3 women. 3 awesome women. Our skin.
We all have skin. It comes in different colors. What color is your skin? We'll leave that question in the comments below. Type in what your skin is. What you think?
We see different skin colors at the playground, at the grocery store, and on TV. What skin colors do you see?
Our friends have different skin tones, so do the people in our families. What's about your family? Okay.
Ooh, our skin is beautiful, strong, and important just the way it is. What do you love about your skin? What do you love about your skin, Nigel?
I love that it's dark, kind of like caramel, but a little bit darker.
Yeah. I love the smoothness of my skin. I hope you guys love your skin too.
Yeah. Your skin's very healthy.
All right.
We got our skin from something smart inside of our bodies called melanin. It protects our skin from sun. If you have If you have melanin too. We all do. Everybody has just the right amount for them.
Awesome. The darker your skin, the more melanin you have. The lighter your skin, the less melanin you have. Melanin makes our skin many beautiful shades from dark to light. What do you call your unique skin color? I'm like a caramel drizzle drop. What about you?
I am more of like I would say, let me think.
Maybe you can come back to that.
I'll say it at the end of the video to surprise.
Okay.
Okay. We may use colors, words to describe people like black and white. Sometimes we say people of color to talk about all groups of people who aren't white.
Our world has so many different groups of people. So there are lots of words we use. Black, indigenous, Asian, white, Arab, Pacific Islander, African American, Latinx. Although I've gotten a lot of people that said they don't like that. So we'll say Latino and Latina, biracial, and so many more. What groups do you belong to? Black. Oh, African American. That was such a good one. I love it.
Skin color can't tell you much about what people are like, what they know, what foods they think are yummy, what their favorite books are, or even where they were born. Just by looking at somebody, you can't tell who they are until on the inside, but sometimes people try anyway.
Yeah.
It's not nice, because, like, what if you say, oh, I think you really like pizza, but you really don't like pizza.
Yeah. A long time ago, way before you were born, a group of white people made up an idea called race. They sorted people by skin color and said that white people were better, smarter, prettier, and that they deserved more than everybody else. That isn't true or fair at all, but it's a story that has been told for a long time.
Yeah, race isn't good. When people believe when people believe this untrue story about race, they call it racism. Racism is also things people do and the unfair rules they make about race
So that
so that white people get more power and are treated better than everybody else. Racism happens in lots of big and small ways. It's all around you,
us.
Even if you don't always notice it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the guy, he's not letting him go up there, but the white people can. It's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Racism can be a rule, like if someone says only friends with white skin can play. Racism can be an idea, like thinking princesses only have blonde hair. Racism can be a way we've done things for a long time, like how there aren't as many books written about people of color.
You're so confused. They're like, what? Racism can be on purpose, like calling a person of a color a mean name because their color of their skin. That happened one time to me. Racism can be by mistake if the same friend always has to play the bad guy.
Yeah, that's no fair. Everyone should take turns being the good guy and the bad guy. Racism hurts and is always unfair. That's why it's important to talk about it and do our part to make things better.
Like the people of color are just like mad. All the time, even right now, people are working for
Racial
justice by telling the truth and sharing feelings, by treating people the way they want to be treated, the golden rule. Black Lives Matter protests are by bravely saying that's not right. By marching in protest, singing songs that bring us together, by changing unfair rules, by teaching, helping, learning, and listening, we can do it too.
And at the end of the book, there are some awesome definitions to some of the terms that were used throughout the story. And I'm just not going to read all of them, but I'm just going to highlight some of them. You have skin color, race-related observations, family diversity, identity terms, stereotypes and prejudice, race, racism, empowerment, and activism. So this is a great book that I like to use to talk to my children about race, to talk to other children about race. And so I hope that you guys take a moment to really read the book, and then as you're reading the book, do stop and take some moments to answer some of those questions. Nigel and I for sure love to answer the questions. We're just trying to read the story for you guys. But Nigel, there was a question in the book that asked what cool special name you had for your skin tone.
I would call mine the vanilla and chocolate duo.
Ooh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. The vanilla and chocolate duo. So please, you guys, check out Our Skin, a first conversation about race. I actually love this Rise from Penguin Workshop brand of books because they're all about teaching kids about their bodies and about things that are happening in the world and all that other good stuff. So be sure to check out their books, and the link will be posted for you guys. But before we go, we did promise something. What did we promise?
We promised we were going to reveal one more book.
An indie book, because indie authors are important. Do you know what indie authors are?
No.
So indie authors are authors who self-publish their book. What that means is, unlike this particular book, who went with a big publishing company, the author of that book, they had to publish their book all on their own. So they have a little bit less resources than those writers who go through big publishing companies. So we want to spread a little bit of indie book love.
Okay. And this book is called The Adventures of Mr. Mouse. We're not going to read like all of it. We're just going to read just one little chapter.
Okay, let's read a chapter. Are we doing that?
Yeah.
We don't have to read a chapter if you don't want to. We can just talk about it.
Yeah, I think we should read a chapter. Yeah, so then they'll get a little bit of like...
So there's a table of contents.
Okay. Chapter 1. Raspberries in a strange new sound. The morning, Mr. Mouse decided to begin his adventure with one of the very best he ever seen. It was not too hot, nor it was too cold. The sky was a beautiful color, blue, and there was just a little breeze in the air.
Mm-hmm.
This was a great day to start an adventure.
Ooh, can I read a little bit?
Yes.
Nice, thank you. Mr. Mouse had been in the woods many times, so the first things he saw did not surprise him one bit as he had seen them before. On one side of the path was Mouse Rock, a great big stone that was shaped like a mouse's head. Every mouse he had ever met knew about Mouse Rock. A little further on was Big Burned Wood. Long ago, a great storm had touched this tree with one of its fire fingers, and the tree had burst into flames.
After walking for a good part of the day, Mr. Mouse sat down next to a raspberry bush and had lunch. He liked raspberries, especially when they were big and red and juicy, but his favorite berries were blueberries. Mr. Mouse loved blueberries. It had been a long time since he had tasted them, and thought to himself how nice it would be if he found some on his adventure. We'll find out. You'll find out if you actually get hooked.
After he had eaten all the raspberries he could, he continued his walk. Pretty soon he realized he did not recognize anything around him and figured he was in a new part of the woods. He slowed down and took care to try and notice anything new he might see. But everything looked like the woods at the beginning of the day. Mr. Mouse thought to himself, I hope that I find new and exciting things on this adventure. And shortly, he did.
Oh no! Mr. Mouse realized that the day was coming to an end, and the sky was getting darker. He decided to find a place to camp, and beginning in a strange place, he thought it best to stay by the path. He laid down his blanket, took a drink of water, and went to look for some wood to build a campfire. to come out. They only come out at night.
Ooh.
But what if he lose his? But what if he lost?
I think you have a little bit more to go for the first chapter.
And there are a beautiful silver color and
Oh, and that the fireflies were beginning to wake up. When he got back to his basket, he started a fire and made a fine dinner of grain soup with raspberries. Sitting by the fire, he tried to think of the things he might see. But try as hard as he could not think of one thing. He started to get ready for bed, and that is when he heard it. A noise like he had never heard before. He quickly put out the fire and crawled under his blanket and held his breath, hoping that whatever it was did not like mice and would just go.
I would be pretty scared too.
Ooh, that sounds like Mr. Mouse is about to get into an adventure, and Nigel and I are going to finish this for bedtime. I think this is going to be an awesome bedtime story. This book was written by Dave Schulenberg. Please, please, please support Dave's book. It's called The Adventure of Mr. Mouse. He's an awesome indie author, and we like to support our indie authors. So,
oh, one more thing before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe.
Oh, subscribe and like.
Hit that like button. And we'll put the book in the description down below. Both of these.
Mm-hmm. And we'll put some links so you guys can support these amazing, amazing authors, whether they're indie author or published author. We like to share our support. So that's it for us for today. Support. Tell your friends about Booking with Mommy and Nigel as well, so they can subscribe and all that good stuff. And yeah, we're done. We're done. We're done. Bye.